So, this is the first and hopefully not last time I'm going to try to do this kind of thing. I didn't write a script for this, but I did very recently watch this episode as well as the entirety of the season and before the fifth. And there I was making jokes all the time, so hopefully this will go as well. This will be the only kind of video I do this week because my wrists have gotten even worse, and they say it's not permanent, so hopefully next week will be better. Anyway, commentary slash riff track of Lost Season 6 finale, series finale, The End. And I am going to start playing it on 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now it starts. Never drink something that a stranger gives you, which means something. We swear it's not just a lamp this time. For some reason. Which is really not very long. Can I be like the Supernatural show you? Because that's way more cool. And that's supposed to matter somehow. Why are people always giving Kate strange things to wear? Slow motion. I will never tire of seeing the Oceanic logo, is what this episode thinks. See, if this was the first episode someone watched, they would be like, well, what's the deal with this Oceanic logo? Why am I supposed to care? And having watched the entire show, I'm thinking the same thing. I wonder if this is what Jack's just into. No, Jacob already gave you enough of the water. You don't have to keep... Next scene, he's going to be completely submerged in it. Dramatic coffee making. Dramatic rope. I miss you, Cherry. If someone blows that thing up, does that mean they popped Locke's cherry? Oh, right, 7 years of bad luck. Three minutes in, feels like 30 minutes in. Is that Jesus, or is that just like the mascot saying, welcome to the mall? One dead body coming right up. Just to make sure he was dead, I went in, gave him a few shots. Only had a 22, I hope that's okay. I guess he does play for that team. Just FYI, I might spoil the entirety of Alias as well, not only Lost. And made you boss. Kate channels the audience. And Desmond channels the writers. Ah, cryptic lines. Lost's bread and butter. But this is the church. I've been sent to protect you, buddy. Well, you're in a car. I think you just press the gas and... somewhere other than a church. Yeah, Jack's just going deeper and deeper into that water. Kate's like, I can't believe I actually did 6 seasons of the show. When someone asks you that, you should probably reconsider your life choices. Sawyer channels the audience. And Jack channels the audience. You know, Laws, just because you point out that something's really hokey doesn't mean that it's not still hokey. All of us on the island, all of us on Earth. Who knows? Confused eyebrows. Well, go get your effing shine box. Just because you comment on how repetitive the writing is doesn't mean it's not still repetitive. Said every Star Wars character ever. Now even Hurley's getting tired of the lost writing. Get you drunk. Same thing. Why does he sound like a Matrix character? Guyliner Charlie. Is that racist? Kind of seems like he could just tell Charlie, you know that weird thing you saw the other day? I can actually explain it. But I guess shooting him in the back is more dramatic. So it's like, this party is turning out very differently than I had anticipated. Well, that answers everything. Because it's always trying to F everything. Well, when you put it like that. Don't give it time. Hey, Irreversible is a great movie. Oh, this is the PAL version, not the NTSC. Sorry. I have seen way too many porns that start exactly like this. Good for you, lassie. That is indeed what it is. Well, more confused eyebrow. Your poor wife. Great pep talk. Oh? If he hadn't punched you in the face, I would have. Why would you ever think you know what a character on this show is actually means by what they're saying? I have the feeling you're not actually sorry. Oh, I didn't. I don't mean it as one. Do the writers think you being quaint is interesting? Remember when we thought Adam and Eve were going to turn out to be Rose and Bernard? Better days. Look at the F out. .org. a fiercely anti-well dweller. See, that's what happens when you help people out of wells. Smoke monsters come find you. This show already hurts. Does Smokey's word really mean a lot at this point? Ben lying right up till the end. Seems kind of like Smokey could have just checked his pockets or something. Suddenly he's real trusting. Hurley is terrible at keeping the fugitive hidden. Like I was shot in the chest. Remember the days when we thought only something like taking lives would be tasteless enough to shoot a pregnant woman? Attack a pregnant woman, rather. No one on this show doesn't talk too much. She has a cold too? Remember us dying? It was amazing. We're both dead. Isn't that wonderful? Cheesy overexposed slow-mo flashback. Remember these scenes, audience? Remember when you really cared about these characters? Remember before we completely betrayed your confidence and wasted hours of your life? Do you see? Perfectly perfect. What every Lost apologist said about the finale. I wonder why she isn't in the church at the end. See, that's how you should learn another language. You just need repressed memories of your previous life, of trauma. The show figured you could use at least one more desperately running through the jungle scene. Denny's? Oh, thank goodness. You promise? Shots of people walking. Because after that, you're not going to be able to respond. First time? Or have you been nervous before? Casual murder is funny. Catch you on the flip side. Good luck, evil luck. Daredevil? Is that you? I like to pick the hairs off strangers. It's kind of a fetish. Shots of people sailing. Sorry, had beans earlier. We can't sail for miles. What do you think we're in, genius? I had this terrible nightmare as in Machete. Fun. How's that gonna help us? I'm going to keep wasting ammo even though it clearly isn't working. Considering that she shoots him later, I suppose that's supposed to be ironic. That we somehow never found before this episode. That's what's gonna happen. Jack. Don't you love scenes like this where literally Smokey could just kill him right now for saying that? I love surprises. Spoken like the audience. Oh my. Big reveal. If they're so comfortable right now, then aren't they supposed to be like divorced or something? He was like, I went to your mother's house, not our house. Maybe she'll finish again. And it's supposed to be dramatic that they went past each other instead of interacting with each other. What's up? That's the surprise. So what about all the other characters that were brought to the island only to die? Oh, long con. Remember when Sawyer did long cons? And then he killed the guy who he was planning to kill, and people were like, well, is he still going to be on the show? Because he kind of has no goal anymore. I guess when you can turn into black smoke, you get to call the shots. I just wanted to show that I could reach out my knife. I don't actually want to do anything with it. Did you see how he pulled out his knife? That was cool. Well, he also believes in big buckets of chicken. What, the weaving job? It's perfectly decent for someone having to do it in trees. Or is it the looming job, anyway? In case you hadn't noticed. Thanks for telling the audience that. Don't several of the people in the church actually hate each other? Not the person they're coupled with, obviously, but... Jag is like, does not compute. They went to all this trouble of getting lost the island, then we had to go back. Nothing makes you smile like submerging an island. Remember the whole cork bottle thing? That's going to seem really stupid in not very long. Sorry, once again, beans. Don't let other people tell you what you can't do. I read your bio. Stalked you for a while. We never actually find out who it is beating them up or why. Oh, a woman to rescue. I guess I will go. Hurley took him like 5 other fights before this one. Each time turned out to be the wrong one. Goodbye, mysterious assaulter. Cheesy flashbacks. Again, I have to wonder, do they remember the other person dying as well? Because if they did, I imagine they wouldn't smile quite so much. It's kind of creepy, you know? Someone comes back to life after you see them die with your own eyes. Clearly Sid hasn't watched the Taken movies or he wouldn't be smiling at that. Look, Paul Denton should be used to getting his ass beaten. But let's stare at them, though. She's on this show. She's obviously not okay. Channeling the audience once again. Once again, why should she believe you? The show is actively urinating on the audience now. Mountain flossing is repelling. Just because you point it out doesn't mean it's still not awkward writing. No one on this show deserves to call themselves John Locke. You just wear the name of a smart philosopher to make people think you're deep. See, again, from the start, it was set up as this big man of faith, man of science conflict. But this is just Black Smoke wearing Locke's skin. Okay, so it's far down. Gotcha. Why are you pregnant with a basketball? Wake me up before the show. Aren't we all? And heroin is in him. To pick up chicks. Oh goodness, nothing comes good out of the number 23. Is that the decent rat-ass tattoo on Jim Carrey? Terrible, edgy writing. A non-answer answer. Cop-out ending. Like I said, nothing good. I'm here because the audience really liked me. Look, we got the character of the brother back. Same actor and everything. Isn't that amazing? So much of this season of The Flash Sideways is just that. Look who we got back. And look at this place, and look at this item. Look at these events. Aren't they similar? Remember when the show was actually compelling to watch? Staring, turning too creepy. Premature birth from creepy staring? Maybe they should have guys like that for every mom who doesn't want to wait. Mother to be, rather. He's not actually wondering about what he's looking at. He's just really confused that he's going to be asked to play a Russian in a Hitman movie. And a literal cork. The same exact thing happens every time I have to fix my router. I know, Desmond, I know it's stupid writing. Just fight through it. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Did he just pat the rock? I guess rocks need love too. And here comes the Star Wars track acting. Extra. Oh, right, rocks. Rocks hurt. How did I forget that? Someone needs to mind his surroundings. Your situational awareness kinda sucks, dude. Pregnant lady coming through. She's like, I told you this would suck. Seems almost as though she's saying lines just so Desmond can, can say this stuff back to her. Ha hee ho ho. Mike's fiance has a very short list of things that women should not be forced to do in front of a camera. One of them is pretend to be in labor. I think I see what she means. I was creepily staring at you. Don't feel special, Claire. He actually just stares at everyone. But it is also a great time to be snarky. I have this terrible feeling that I'm not going to have a career after this. Seriously, how did she not? You know, you've got the Hobbit trilogy and, you know, Ant-Man. How did she not have more of a career after this? This is seriously the easiest QTE in the history of video games. I have to wonder if Claire on some level is wondering, wait, did I have another child and then like abandon it? That would be pretty awful. I know, kid, but the episode's almost over. Just hang in there. Yeah, it's more like half over. I know, Claire, I know, Kate, but the episode's eventually going to be over. And on some level, Claire is also like, I really hope I find someone else to adopt him. I think, or the planet is mostly water. He's like, I've had that exact experience with so many women. I'm having trouble keeping track of their names. Now more Star Trek acting. Shaking the camera. Oh no, thunder, that must mean the world is in danger. Yes, this is the exact moment to climb down into a cave when everything's falling apart. Suddenly he cares. Things only said in film fiction from America for 500, Alex. The camera is shaking and you're Star Trek acting. Somebody answer? No, I'm kilometers. We're going to Rose and Bernard's. Grudge match. It's all come down to this. Two guys running at each other. And he opts for the flying... Well, they hit each other, that I'm sure of. Of course, Jack did go from trying to punch him to more like... Jack is really terrible at paying attention to when Smokey grabs at something. Honestly, if Kate didn't show up and save him and they had round 3, he'd probably fail the exact same way again. Finally, it works, shooting clock. See, this wouldn't be so anticlimactic if people hadn't been shooting at Smokey this whole season. Not saying it shouldn't have that it should have worked before this. I get why it didn't, but it's still pretty anticlimactic. Evil luck, good luck. wanted to make sure until we were all the way here before I told you that. Figured it would look better on camera. He looks more grumpy than sleepy. And certainly not happy. I forget what the other dwarves are called. Look. Well, wiggle your big toe then. Wiggle your big toe. There you go. You know that guy called Buck? I think you might need to fire that guy. Can I borrow his car though? You know, you are coming off medication. Maybe what you're seeing is not... Wait, did he get that from touching his toe? You know, College Humor just did a video about how in movies people always wake up and start pulling these tubes out of their arms and stuff. Fix his spine? But I don't need my spine fixed. This is a good place to fall down. You were saying, Kate? That's what I am. That's what the writer said about the finale. And then these. Oh, great, it had been a minute. I'm sorry, there's 40 minutes left, sure. So, what you spent all this time doing, you really shouldn't have done at all. Now you're just gonna undo it. Really, the only thing that's changed is that Locke's dead. I mean, if that was all that needed to happen, couldn't Jake lure Smokey to somewhere and get Desmond down there, unplug the thing, get Smokey killed, plug the thing back in? Seems like that could have happened several seasons ago. You go, you go. Yelling dramatic things into a walkie-talkie. Clearly some people think there will never be enough scenes of that. Okay, I changed my mind. We don't jump. I didn't mean jump there! It doesn't work anyway. You know you're in a piece of fiction filmed in America, right? It's actually really believable. I paid for my rolls. I'm gonna get my rolls. Rip off the machine. She's being mighty graphic for a first date. Well, no, not that one. Okay, Neo. She's thinking about switching nationalities very quickly. Weren't you married to Jack like 2 minutes ago? And Jack walks in, and whoa, that's awkward. Okay, Cher. I guess it's a little funny. Since this is a series finale, we've got to have some mush. Lots and lots of mush. So Kate, who always runs stuck around, convenient. Well, Juliet did twice. So. Ah, Jack has a keen sense of memory for pen stealers. It was a really nice pen. Psychic touch. So I guess she's not with Sawyer then. See, that's the trouble with love triangles. But I guess once you have two, you can even them out. Love triangles are so easy to hate. You'd figure that we were taught about them in math class or something. Looks like Jack had beans. Well, I can tell from the people off screen throwing fake rocks at us that it's pretty serious. Bad writing, mostly. Ah, he read the script. And then it was supposed to be you. Well, now that the dramatic moment's over, let's have some more rocks. It's very okay. Okay, I changed my mind. Please don't pour mud into the... Oh, it's okay. The mud turned to clear water. Magically. Jack really is Jesus. He turned mud into water. I know, Hurley, but just remember it turned to clear water. You weren't supposed to drink the whole thing. Tasted like fried chicken. Oh, don't cry, Hurley. I mean the good way. I beg to differ. Okay, difficult. It's a grown-off. See, it's ironic because usually it's Desmond saying that. Yeah, those shots of waves certainly do look dramatic. I look great for someone who's been on an island for years. And there's no such thing as a bad mother. Crazy people should always have children. Not because we need to, just I want to show them off. Oh my, her too. You know, considering that people have been going on and off this island plenty of times, them acting like this is the definite last chance. I mean, the island's going to stop being destroyed in a minute or two. It's not as though they couldn't send someone back for the others. Well, this cheesy metaphor isn't gonna fix itself. Script said grunting with occasional intelligible words. No. Yes. Maybe. Make fists with your toes. How many times do Hollywood think we need to see a plane almost taking off and then, yes, safely taking off? It's beyond cliche at this point. Did I leave the oven on? Well, someone had a lot to drink. The light comes on, the island is saved. Meanwhile, if people have been dying all over the world, quite a few people died between Desmond uncorking and Jack figuring out, oh, maybe I should put the plug back in. I mean, it's not as if it needed to be Jack killing Locke. Ultimately, it was just Kate shooting him. Yeah, waterfalls always make me giggle too. You go back. Don't worry, he's not epileptic. Welcome to the mall. The bathrooms are to my right. The sails are to my left. Don't tell me what I can do. Did I leave the oven on? Sorry about killing you. You know, hanging you and all. Hangy. Murdery. Like the ability to breathe. Remember when Walt was special and then he grew up too quickly for the writers to deal with? Go on and hang other people. More people to hang. Get some rope. I almost feel like I was never hanged. There goes the best man I've ever hanged. He accidentally goes into someone else's funeral. That sure is water running. I can't believe I've been on the show for so long. I think that's what everybody says on their first day at a new job. Blah. I did leave the oven on, didn't I? Well, screw you then. And you treated me like number two. On the flip side. Died. Nah, don't be. He was a rotten father. Again, would be hilarious if they accidentally crashed someone else's funeral. To bury his father? There's probably supposed to be like a supernatural explanation, but it would be pretty hilarious if he somehow managed to climb all the way up. You know, at least Desmond was hoisted up with the rope. They probably even removed the rope, and he's like, oh, come on. And then it turns out he could crawl up very easily because it's all conveniently placed like a Prince of Persia game or something. This is the most multicultural church I've ever seen. Let me just block out some of those religious symbols to make it a little less obvious. He's working up the nerve to rant about his father being awful. And suddenly it dawns on him how long he's been on the show. Accidental murder is hilarious. I can't believe we were standing there kissing while the place was falling apart around us. I wonder how many people died while we were standing there. Ah, great, they lost my father again. How many seasons is this gonna take? Well, it does look comfortable down there. I wonder if I could take a nap. Nah. Not great. Dad's alive. No, it's some other dead guy recently brought back to life. None of us do, dude. Kind of a fun rush. Bad writing. Cheese. Corn. Well, I drove. Did he hiccup? Your son will grow up without a father. And since Juliet's in there, without a mother. How do you define real? Calm down, audience. The whole show wasn't purgatory. Great. Spoiled life. Cheese, corn. We don't know over this. You sound like a freshman in a philosophy class. What? Everything that happened before doesn't matter at all. Someone hasn't heard of the miracle of masturbation. To fill this finale with as much cheese as possible. Arrived. Up to the east side. Finally have a piece of the pie? Five minutes left. Are all five going to be slow motion? Cheese? People hugging? Smiling? We've been waiting for you to die. I just want to hear Paul Denton's internal monologue right now. Poor Aaron having to live the first 3 years of his life all over again. See, when I was a kid, my parents told me that, Adam and Eve couldn't have children. There are no children in heaven. I was never entirely sure if they meant that if there were children, it wouldn't be heaven, but I guess it is possible that they're just going to plop Aaron down in one of those pews and just move on without him. Just imagine, like, one day you wake up, you're 3 years old, just like you were yesterday. The next day you wake up, you're being born again. That's gotta be pretty traumatic. I mean, do you retain your memories? Well, I seem to have found the place where I started out. Let's end it the way we started it, only with way less compelling writing. Yep, they're all here. See? You can cross them all off the list. If all the most important people were with him on the island, then why is his father there? Or is that black smoke reincarnated? I have Paul's dog. Well, bye. I've always wanted to die next to a dog. Well, bye, son. Like I did in life, I do in death, abandon you. Did I mention how disappointed in you I am? Well, let's walk into the obvious metaphor. Man, the lighting crew really rigged up something fierce. And they crash. And found. And footage that makes everyone think that the whole thing was just in their heads, that they all died in the crash, when really it's just ABC reassuring, trying to ease back into like the news or whatever was coming after. But instead everyone went online and like, wait, so it never really did happen? Everything we saw in 6 years was a lie? Comforting B-roll. And that's it. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut it off at that, not go into any long. So I apologize for the dead air, and I hope that this wasn't too disappointing for the people who do actually watch, who actually do look forward to my videos. Don't know how many of you there are, but yeah, I'd rather test this than have a week without any kind of video up at all. So, but yeah, briefly, this, I forget, I did say that this was an idea I'd been toying with, I think. Anyway, it is an idea I've been toying my head with, because I really do like RiffTrax and MST3K, and sometimes I think I come up with pretty good stuff just, you know, as I'm watching a thing, and it's possible that I'll sometime in the future actually sit down and script out one of these, probably be for a movie I own and have watched a million times before. But yeah, I mean, this time it worked out fine. Again, apologies for the dead air and the repetition, but yeah, and just briefly, that you obviously, I'm not saying that people who have mental issues aren't allowed to have children, but if someone makes the conscious decision that they don't think they're fit to be a parent, I don't think you should just, yell at them, you're the biological parent. Biological parents are not necessarily better than adoptive parents. It's not right to, yeah, some people don't make great parents, and it's a really good thing when they realize that really early on and have the kid adopted to someone who can take care of them. But yeah, so I enjoyed this. I hope you did too. And yeah, like I said, next week will almost definitely be a regular video. And the yeah, I think that covers it. And yeah, catch you next week.